snot flag.
I'm Matt Ryan, joined by James Corrigan. We are live from Homedale, New Jersey. We've got a team knocking on the door of the playoffs and one team looking to play spoiler.
Yes, we do, Matt. The New Jersey Savage dropped their first game in a nail-biter last week, 19-12, at the hands of the defending champion Baltimore Gators. But their season has turned around with a big change at quarterback, RF1 taking over under center and doing a great job there. A very deep roster of playmakers as well. And for the Renegades, they have yet to pick up this season. Shut out last week, 28-0 at the hands of the Pennsylvania Misfits. But as we both know, anything can happen in the fast-paced, hard-hitting world of the A7FL.
Well, let's take a look at RF1. He was the guy that filled in for CP3 3 weeks ago, trying to come in during a very interesting day. And let's take a look at these highlights here. Just right into the hip pocket. Just perfect passes, great timing, great control. And RF1 coming in after Bell and playing with accuracy and playing with poise. The former World Series of Football representative for the nation of Brazil, and this is last week in Baltimore.
Well, you know, RF1 is just a completely different type of quarterback than a CP3. CP3, well, even though you see RF1 running around there, CP3 relies so much on his legs, not so much on his arms. You see in these highlights, RF1 just slinging it all over the field. That just gives this Savage team a completely different dynamic, just changes the entire scope of an offense.
That is true, and we're going to get ready for the throw-off here. And that's the interesting thing about the A7FL, James. If you've never watched this before, the A7FL is unlike any professional football you've watched anywhere around the world. It's 7-on-7, no helmets, no pads, and it is tackle football, but the throw-off is, instead of a kickoff, it's safer, it's more dynamic, and we're getting ready to have our start here, our first of 4 games today. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Watch, YouTube, and especially Twitch. And it will be the Renegades starting this off, and this one will go into the end zone, intended for number 18 of the Renegades, Xavion Ray Law.
Zay Ray is letting that one go right through his hands. And I believe we may have a penalty here, which is huge. We do. It's a penalty on the Savage. So Zay Ray is going to get the running start for the throw-off, and this is going to give the Renegades great field position to start this game.
And he'll go to the 40 at the 45, trying to get through. Covered by 15, and he'll drag him out of play. The tackle made by number 15 of the New Jersey Savage, Jabril Beeman, a.k.a. Breeze, the cornerback, helping in on the 3-on-1.
Now Breeze saving a touchdown there. The throw-off, I think, could be the most exciting play in all of sports. You're just not going to see open field like that in any other scenario.
And we're going to have some big games today with a lot of big game day players. But let's talk about Willie Easterling for the Savage, number 21, Willie Mayweather, known as his nickname. And we see the Renegades in the camouflage uniforms and the Savage in the black and orange away uniforms. We saw them in that last week in Baltimore. And let's take a look at Willie Mayweather. Getting up and over, just finding a way to shake off defenders, and this is why the A7FL is so dynamic. Just nothing but open space, and we're going to see a lot of that today. First down, run off to the left, trying to peel back. That's number 3, Corey. Correction, it was number 3, and he'll be taken down for a big loss, dropped around the 44-yard line. They'll mark it, I believe, at the 44.
Hey, Whack just coming around the edge, grabbing the hold of the jersey, but in reality, Matt, it seemed like the entire Savage defensive line was in the backfield of the Renegades. They're going to have to do a lot better job of blocking, or else it's going to be a long morning for them.
Well, the Savage only giving up 43 points so far this season. That is a big, big number. That's a great sign for this defense. Savage under center. It'll be second down and 14. Rolling off to the right. Facing pressure. That one's a pop fly. Picked up and knocked down. Intended for number 7, Khalil Sly of the Renegades. And that will be third down.
Ooh, that was so close to being a humongous play for the New Jersey Renegades.
Correction, that was number 4, Eddie Pediat.
But it's going to be a big third and long right now for the Renegades. And
It'll be 3rd and 14 as we see the Renegades under in the huddle. It's going to be a big opportunity here to try to turn the tide. They got great field position off the penalty and the runoff.
good look at the dot boss, of course, on the defensive line. A big playmaker looking to get in that backfield again.
Raylaw off the snap, throwing it over to the big man. The mountain of a tight end. Takes 2 players to bring him down. Big play by Dondre Haynes.
Well, there's the green mile right there.
And that will get them a first down. A correction, it'll be 4th and 7, 7-yard gain there by the Renegades.
Well, the green mile, as you can see, just almost impossible to bring down with just one person. You just get him into space, and basically you roll the dice. That's all you really need.
Reminds me a lot of Mark Bravaro. Let's see that replay again. Haynes just dragging him on the leg. He was trying to shake him off. It's like a dog when you get home and your dog's trying to give you affection and you're not really a big fan of affection and you're just trying to shake him off. I'm just talking too much about my personal life.
Maybe.
I'm not deserving of love. Raylaw under center. Shotgun. Snaps it. Play action. Runs off to the right. He's got space. He'll go to around the 31 and he'll be dragged down by the man with the hashtag for a number, and it will be first down.
Well, that's going to be prime time Ron Clerk making the tackle. And you want to talk about hashtags, drop some hashtags, drop some comments in the Twitch chat if you are watching, or in the Facebook chat if you are on Facebook Watch. Don't forget, we got the double-decker of games at 2 and 4 exclusively on Twitch later today.
And you're going to want to be around for that one, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some great games here for you this afternoon and this morning, starting early. You know what? You get a bagel, you get some coffee, and you get some football. No other way I'd like to spend my Sunday morning except with you, James, and everybody watching with the A7FL. First down, runs off to the left, breaking off, gets dropped. Prime time, and number 29 of the Savage, Jamal Harmon with the tackle. Big run there, though, by the Renegades. Let's take a look at that on the replay. Fakes the handoff. That wasn't even an attempt to fake the handoff. He was just doing that out of ceremony. Going straight off to the left, had a lot of space, James, and got some good yardage.
Well, Zay Ray's not exactly a traditional quarterback, mostly making plays with his legs, as you see there. As we have 2nd down and 2, it looks like.
And while that's yielded the Renegades 42 points on the season, they have a minus 71-point differential. And when they see this Savage offense, it may be a long day at the office. Snap, handoff to the left. Play action, throws this one up into the end zone. Caught, brought down, touchdown, Renegades. Eddie Pediat right in there. It was a little bit of a bobbler, but they get 6 on the board, and the Renegades strike first.
Oh, so much for not being a traditional quarterback. Zay Ray just dropping the dime. Looked like the Savage was hoodwinked by the fake on the play fake. And now we're going to see if the Renegades go for 1 or go for 2. It looks like they're going to go for 2 on the 10-yard line. No extra points here in the A7FL. Going for 1 would be the 5-yard line conversion. For 2, it would be a 10-yard conversion.
They'll go for the play action again.
Well, this is the replay of the touchdown, Matt.
You look down to see if anybody's talking in the chat. You look at the play. You're killing me.
Oh, boy.
And now we'll go to the 2-point attempt from the 10-yard line. Lining up 4 on the line. Breaking through is the Savage defense. Renegades up, over, caught by Pediat in traffic. Crosstown traffic like it's Hendricks in 67, and it's 8-0 Renegades.
Just pulling the rabbit out of the hat. Didn't even have a great look
And it was a pick and roll play,
where
too.
Pediat was going.
See on the replay, it looked like it was going to go to Haynes.
Running
across, 29 trying to make the play, but Pediat coming right under it, coming right through. Perfect play there.
Just throwing across his body as well. That's the old Brett Favre play. Looked like that it was originally going to be intended. I thought on first glance it was intended for the Green Mile.
It was. It looked like it was going to Haynes, but just that little pick and pop sliding right through his Pediat, and he'll get the touchdown. And it's 8-0 Renegades, and it will be a 3-on-1 with the Savage looking to bust it off here. They've scored 69 points on this season, a plus 26-point differential.
And it's going to be K-Dub back to receive for the Savage. You see the Green Mile, a massive man is he. What kind of arm he has, we're about to find out. I imagine it's a big one.
I think it's less about the arm. It's more about the impact coming down the field. If you see number 44 coming your way, you don't want any of that. Picked up around the 18-yard line. And here comes the Savage, dragging him along. Forward progress will stop the play. And that's a big move there by number 18, Kyle Ward.
K-Dub has to protect the ball a little bit better on that play. I know the forward progress was stopped, but just holding the ball in one hand is a little bit risky. But now here's comes the high-powered Savage offense.
And we'll have it at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:12 left to go. The time keeps on slipping and slipping in towards the second quarter. And we talked about RF1 a little earlier today. We're going to also see the ice cream truck try to plow on through, and it is a very warm day here in Homedale.
Yes, it is.
I can go for a Mr. Softy right now. RF1 under center. He has Hubbard set up to his right. There's the snap, and there's the handoff. Right through, and Haynes meeting him right at the line and trapped down by number 13, Willie Logan.
The ice cream truck and the Green Mile meeting, colliding at the line of scrimmage. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. But the truck, one of the great legends we have here in the A7FL, able to pick up what looks like about 5 yards.
And it'll be 2nd and 5, and we see RF1 under center, trying to dictate policy and make sure everybody understands what's going on. And he'll have the ball. It'll be 2nd and 5. Just a little over 8 minutes left to go, and they are on the 38-yard line. And there's a snap by RF1. Quick snap pass off the hands, intercepted by the Renegades, off the hands of number 18, Kyle Ward. And this one, we've got a battle for it. We've got a scrum, and the whistle will blow near the 50-yard line. Interception by Xavion Ray Law, making plays under center and in the secondary.
Unbelievable start for the Renegades, right through the hands again of K-Dub. We actually saw that in the opening throw, even though it was called back onto a penalty, but Zay Ray, the beneficiary, and the Renegades, who have yet to procure a victory this season, are on the front foot in the early going.
Putting forward the pressure, this Renegades team that is yet to win this season, taking on one of the top 5 teams in the A7FL, and showing that they're able to go stride for stride here in the early going as we're near the halfway point. Just a little past the halfway point of our first quarter. Your score is 8-0. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by James Corrigan. We are live around the world on Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube. And this game is brought to you by Tim Tam Tech, Recovery for All. Be sure to head on over to Tim Tam Tech right now. Our players use it. Our management uses it. You should use it too. It's Recovery for All, Tim Tam Tech. 1st and 10 for the Renegades. No time. Covered, smothered, brought down.
My goodness.
Mark Health Williams, dot boss, with a boss move right there, coming right through that Renegades offensive line, bringing him down for a sack.
The dot boss, of course, forcing a 19-yard loss. Zayray making plays on the defensive side of the ball, but you have to wonder what on earth is he thinking, running that far backwards. He said he's not exactly a traditional quarterback. You just need to sort of use common sense there.
And a little bit of help from number 52, Isaac Joe Negron on that tackle. Both of those defensive ends converged immediately onto Ray Law, and it'll be 2nd and 18 now after an 8-yard loss. Ray Law under center. Doesn't take much time. Gets it over to Pediat. Trying to make a move. Gets stopped around the 40-yard line, and it will be 3rd down for the Renegades.
Oh, you sort of almost want to be a little bit conservative here. You don't want to assume that, 3rd and 24. You almost want to play it a little bit safe. Go for the punt, which, of course, is not an actual punt. It's a throw here in the A7FL.
They relied on the big play early, that pick and pop. And right now, the Savage returning to form a little bit, not giving the Renegades a lot of room to breathe, and it will be 3rd down at the 40-yard line.
Well, it is a little bit early, Matt. Maybe it was the wake-up call for the Savages. It looks like we're going to get a stoppage of play, a timeout here. I wouldn't be surprised if coming off this timeout, we're going to see another screen from the Renegades. It worked earlier on with the short screen to the green mile. He was able to pick up a 1st down.
And taking a look at our Facebook chat, Angel Oqueno talking about that interception earlier. You got to catch that ball.
Yes, you do.
It looked like he was going for it with his hands, not bringing it down, just more about retaining that ball, as we've got our first time out of the game called by the Renegades. And be a part of the conversation, whether you're on Facebook or Twitch. We've got 2 games for you at 10, right now, and hopefully around 12:30 will be our 2nd game of the afternoon, and we will have action for you all day long. But at 2 p.m., we are going straight directly to Twitch for our Double-Decker Sunday. And James, you got any more comments for us?
I do. We got a big shout-out on our Twitch chat to Ton Pite, coming to us from France.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Oh,
That's two semesters of French.
There you have
Paying
it.
off. The only stuff I learned was comment ça va.
Clearly, you've retained more in your schooling days than I have.
And it will be 3rd down, 40-yard line. Ray Law in a shotgun set, about 4 or 5 yards away. Trying to find space, rolls off to his right, launches this one downfield, caught and intercepted. It looked like it was
broken
down.
up.
It was broken up by number 11, Kenny Prelo.
Kenny Prelu able to knock it down once again. That pass intended for Petro.
It'll be 4th and 24.
The touchdown score earlier today for the Renegades. So a different scenario here, a punt situation as opposed to the throw-off situation. The Renegades can throw this ball out of bounds. There is no minimum distance that this ball can travel, similar to a punt in a traditional football game. As once again, K-Dub back to receive, the man who let the ball slip through his hands for the pick.
It'll be picked up near the 15-yard line. You see him cutting off center field, going to the far sideline. He's got nothing but space and one defender in front of him. Slips, slides, he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Savage.
And that's the space, that's the open space that you get in this kind of a situation only here in the A7FL. Unbelievable play from K-Dub, just slicing from one side of the field to the other, seeing that open space. Not a lot of speed was on the field right there for the Renegades. You sort of need to have that on the throw-off as we take another look.
And you see he cuts from sideline to sideline, going stride for stride. They were building that whole throw-off on the power of the tacklers and not being able to stop Kyle Ward and Ward just changing the momentum of this game, not on a dime, but on a penny. Just a little bit sharper, a little bit faster going into this one, and a great move there.
Ron Mills did all he could, number 54, but just left in the dust. And now the Savage are going to go for 2 here to try and tie this ball game up at 8.
And we'll see Ward set up to the right. We'll have Troy Smith, Mr. Incredible, in the slot, along with number 8, Ryan Willock. Wavy in motion. Correction, that's number 6, Keon Bell. And that one will be stopped. And that one will yield no points, and it's 8-6 still, with the Renegades getting the ball back and needing a big stop here after that throw-off touchdown.
That ball literally kicked by Zay Ray of the Renegades, going at his feet. But it's going to be interesting to see if, indeed, like we talked about, if the Savage really have awoken since that key turnover earlier in the first quarter. Love to see your thoughts on that in the chat. If you're surprised by the start, the winless Renegades still having that lead on the Savage.
And the throw off. And brought down hard. That was number...
That's Tony Park on the return. Tony Park brought down by Jamal Harmon. So another offensive possession for the Renegades, who have been...
And you could see Park, he had his eyes wide open on that one. He saw the tackler coming, just brought him right down, double-legged him, and it'll be first down for the Renegades.
Well, the Renegades offense has been up and down so far in this one. We've seen some good throws from Zay Ray. We've seen some very poor decisions from Zay Ray, taking a 19-yard sack. So I think this Renegades offense just needs to be a little bit more conservative. He's popped it up a couple of times on some deep balls. He threw a touchdown, of course, earlier in this game. Had a few knocked down, but he'll be lucky if those balls aren't going to be intercepted later on. So I think this needs to be a little more conservative here from the Renegades.
Petty at the top of your screen. We've got Haynes, I believe, set up to the left of the quarterback. The snap on first down. They'll run it. Going right side. Moving upfield, and now it'll be a moderate gain. Xavion Ray Law with the carry.
And Prime Time wearing the hashtag, of course, pushing it out. He's a human hashtag for a gain of 9.
It'll be second and 2. 2nd and 1, correction. 6-8 your score. And under the huddle right now, James, you're looking at this. You're trying to figure out what is it that this Renegades team can do to stop the pressure from the Savage. Big 9-yard gain, but they're going to have to change up their offense a little bit if they keep getting into the rhythm of relying on Ray Law's legs. It's not going to be it's going to be a very long day for this Renegades team.
Well, I said it just a moment ago. You have to play it a little bit more conservative.
Play action. Once again, they'll throw it off to Haynes, the big man, lumbering down the field. He'll get the first down and a little more, being brought down around the 41-yard line with Ron Clark helping out with the tackle.
Going to be a gain of close to 15, but we're going to get a hold on the Renegades, so it's going to come back. Unfortunate for the Renegades offense. Those are the kind of plays that I would have liked, I'd like them to run a little bit more in this game. Obviously, they haven't won a game. They're trying to hang on to a lead. A nice screen to the green mile, but all for naught as they're backed up 10 yards.
It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Renegades, who have a 2-point lead with 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Matt Ryan, joined by James Corrigan. We are live here in Homedale, New Jersey, and you are from everywhere around the world. We've got people from France, North Jersey, South Jersey, and we have you watching and enjoying with us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, being a part of the A7FL Nation Week 5 as we make the road to the playoffs getting closer and closer, and Ray Law will be under center about 4 yards away in the shotgun. Ball set on the 16-yard line. We'll have another stoppage in play at 1:05 left to go.
I think that it's going to be a timeout, or at least that the Savage are trying to call timeout here. We see Q Bell coming onto the field, playing the role of coach. And I believe the Savage have called their first timeout of this game here. Interesting time for them to call it.
And you have to wonder if this was a momentum killer. You find a way to bounce back after getting that throw-off touchdown scored on you. You're able to stop the two-point conversion, keep the lead no matter how small it is, and then you have a big running gain, and then you have a big pass play that's brought back. You got to wonder if that hampers the confidence of this Renegades team as they talk things over after the first timeout of the Savage. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, this Renegades team isn't really doing anything too out of the ordinary. Interesting that the Savage have to call timeout here. There's only been 3 players who have even touched the ball on offense for the Renegades.
It'll be 2nd and 11 with 1 minute left to go. We've got 3 on the line for the Renegades. We've got 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen and Petiot at the bottom of your screen. Ray Law under center. You can see outside rush. Number 2 coming in, 3 Savage. He throws it up, and that one's caught. No, it slid away. Trying to save that one was number 44, Haynes, and it will be 3rd down with 47 seconds left to go in the first.
And that was the dot boss, of course, bearing down on Zay, just on his bicycle, moving backwards, no choice but to throw it. The Green Mile made it the best effort that he could, but it was probably for the best that he didn't catch that ball. It would have been a loss.
Hit him with an Uranagi, bringing him down,
Oh,
too.
boy.
Big move by Dot Boss, making it 3rd down. Now let's shout out some of the people watching us on Facebook, joining us from Ohio. Thanks to Ed Zeke, watching the Savage from Ohio, and Frederick Callahan, watching early with us from Sin City in Las Vegas. It'll be 3rd down, and it looks like the Renegades may just run out the clock here as we head into the second quarter.
And they will, or at least it appears that they will, and they have.
1 quarter down, 3 left to go, James. The score is Renegades 8, Savage 6. This is the A7FL across the world, broadcasting on Facebook, Twitch, and also on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us all around the world right here on Twitch. And let's go to the Twitch chat as we're talking. A Baltimore Cobras fan checking in. That's King Ken Stay Cooking. Not a big fan of this Renegades line, James, and if I'm him or Xavier Ray Law, I'm in agreement right now because they have opened up the barn door here today on offense.
Well, man, I said it on the first play of the game that the Savage were living in the backfield of the Renegades, and that's really been the story throughout. The Renegades have done a good job trying to sort of alleviate that pressure, throwing some screens over the outside to players such as the Green Mile, and they've had some success in doing so. But at the end of the day, we saw it on the last play before the end of the quarter when the dot was bearing down, just breathing down his neck. No choice but to throw that one into the turf.
And we see how the Savage got 2 points away from tying this game up. A big run by Ward. As now we start our second quarter. It'll be 3rd and 11.
You mentioned the Uranagi before. A lot of our fans will probably know that as the rock bottom.
I was just trying to be fancy about it, but yeah, hit him with a rock bottom. Hit him with the rock bottom, hit him with the hind. We'll get things started here in our second quarter. Matt Ryan, James Corrigan here with you. And you can see the big men playing for the Renegades. Ray Law under center. Great camera angles here today. Rolls off to his left. In coverage again. Picked up by Petiot. Caught. Running. Breaks 1 tackle. Breaks another. Hashtag sheesh. Nothing but the field in front of him. He's got 2 Savages trying to stop him. Petiot could be stopped. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. That right there is a game breaker by the Renegades. Caught in their own territory, bringing it across the field right from 11-yard line to 11-yard line.
Forget the catch. How on earth did Zay Ray even get the throw off? Born down again. Once again, the Savage living in the backfield of the Renegades. Zay Ray just heaving it. And somehow it winds up in the hands once again.
Malik Walker will be credited with the tackle. Number 10, the Magic Man. And that, you know what? I may have to give that nickname to Eddie Petiot, who just completely made that happen for the Renegades on that play. Magical play. magical play. And if you're watching on Twitch and you haven't clipped that play yet, do yourself
Please
a favor.
do
that right now. 8-6, the Renegades in the lead. They are set up on the 10-yard line. And right now, here's a big opportunity for the Renegades. Tony Park, Ray Law, under center.
Direct snap.
Brought up field by the big man. Number 3, can't stop, won't stop, touchdown. Renegades increasing the lead, big money play, and it is now a ever-growing lead for this Renegades team that many expected to kind of just roll over and die this week.
Well, I can quote our esteemed Commissioner Ryan DePaul, who did not see a lot in this matchup here, and I wouldn't blame him. A lot of our fans did not see much in this matchup. The Renegades 0-4 coming in. The Savage just losing their first game last week. This has got to be considered a very surprising development in the early going.
And the Savage are going to need to find a way to recover, and the best way to recover is with Tim Tam. Tim Tam makes professional-grade therapy products. Coaches, trainers, and elite athletes use massage therapy during training to speed recovery. Tim Tam's patent-pending devices provide professional-grade massage therapy and to add another layer to your fitness regimen. Go to timtam.tech to learn more. It'll be a one-point play here from the 5-yard line. Ray Law under center. And the play action rolls to his right. In trouble again. Popped up, and that one will go way out of play. And it will only be an 8-point lead now for the Renegades.
Some respect being exchanged from Isaac, who bore down, as the rest of his teammates have done in this game, for the Savage, knocking down Zay on that conversion.
And then we see the touchdown again. Just a direct snap, faking the pass, just plowing on through. A huge touchdown. And the Renegades finding a way, after a little bit of adversity, after that throw-off touchdown, have been able to keep up the momentum and keep this lead, extending it to 14-6 with 12:48 left to go in the second.
Well, the playmaker, K-Dub, who just tore the house down earlier in this game, running the punt back for the touchdown. He's going to try to make lightning strike twice here for the New Jersey Savage.
Ward will be taking it. It'll be tossed off again while the same 3 men out there. Dondre Haynes will be throwing it off. He's joined by Devon Blucher and number 19, Tony Park. A correction, that's another number 19. It's not Park, and that one will bounce into the end zone. We'll see the Renegades run off the field, and we're going to have the runoff from the 25, I believe.
No, that's a legal throw. So it's going to be a touchback. It's going to be the Savage starting on the 25, and I can't imagine that they expected that at this point in the game they would be trailing by 8 points. So backs up against the wall, maybe a little bit embarrassed by how they've played. The Renegades, quite frankly, have gotten fortunate. That last pass, the big play in the previous series for the Renegades, probably should have been intercepted, to be honest.
1st and 10, RF1. One back to his right, and he'll directly hand it off. Going up left side, pushing through, plowing ahead near a first down, and brought down near the 28-yard line.
That is the first carry of the game from Willie Mayweather. Willie Mayweather's been the primary back for this NJ Savage team this season, even usurping the ice cream truck himself. So a little bit surprising that the Savage have sort of gone away from that. Well, they haven't had too much of the ball in this game with the critical turnover before and the punt return going back for the touchdown as well.
2 wide receivers set. Mayweather set up to RF1. Play action, a little sloppy. Haynes trying to find a way through. RF1 will roll out. He'll run, and he'll get the first down. Running more out of need than joy. RF1 jogging back, and that will be considered a first down for the Savage.
Well, he was pushed out by E-Money. You could see that RF1, it's not his game. It's not his primary offense to run the ball like that. The previous quarterback, CP3, was more of a style quarterback. He could throw the ball as well for the Savage, but he was excellent with his legs. But RF1 able to make the play with his legs as well. As I think we have a defensive holding call, so I think that's 5 yards tacked on to the previous play, but it's a first down nonetheless.
And moving the chains, that is what the Savage need to do. Just over 4 minutes here, 4.5 minutes gone by in our second quarter. Savage down by against a winless Renegades team. And also shout out to Will Sirius for the Baba Booey, Baba Booey. A Baba Booey to you, my friend. A Baba Booey to you all joining us here on May 19th. RF1 moves Mayweather to his left side. Top of your screen, we've got one wide receiver. Here comes the defense off to hands off of Kyle Ward. Again, Ward not being able to hold on to the ball. Thinking with his legs, I think, and he's thinking more about the yards after catch than he is about getting that first down.
That was thrown a little bit behind him, but still should have probably brought that one down. I want to give a quick shout out to P.745 and RGT Ace TTV, both tuning in all the way from North Carolina, the Tar Heel State.
Don't spin your shirt on like a helicopter. That's the only thing I'm asking, James. It'll be first down, Mayweather. And we have Ward in motion. He'll take the handoff. He'll move upfield. Tries to get the first down. It depends on where they'll line it up, but it looks like he got it. It'll be first down.
On the sticks. I'm not sure he's going to be given the spot. I believe the referee on the far side is going to mark him just a bit short, and he has, so it's going to be 3rd and inches for the New Jersey Savage. As L.J. Smith would refer to them, New Jersey Savage, we the best.
Well, they're not playing like they are the best today. They're playing behind, and let's see if RF1 can come from behind the 8 ball. Mayweather set up to his right. And there's the handoff to Mayweather, going to his left. Trying to find a lane, gets brought down. And we'll see if that one's considered a first down.
Well, considering that it was 3rd and inches, I believe that he picked up the first down with his gain of what looks to be about 12 yards. Willie Mayweather, which is really a complete back. Not the fastest guy on the field, not the most powerful guy on the field, like how you would say an ice cream truck is, but just very shifty runner, as you could see on that last play, just running to his left, avoiding tacklers and getting into plus territory.
And it will be 1st and 10, right around midfield on the 49-yard line. RF1 will have Mayweather set up to his left, 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen, one being covered in a bit of a zone. You can see the defender right towards the right side of your screen, but they'll hand off to Mayweather anyway, trying to push up field, trying to be the ice cream truck. He'll get a short gain, brought down by number 54, Nate Green. Little help from Guwap on that play.
Just a gain of 2, but this is very positive. This is the first real drive that we've seen put together from the New Jersey Savage, as we see.
And a big play by the Renegades, keeping the lead in RF1. Not living up to the promise and potential we discussed at the start of this broadcast, James. And we'll take a look here on the replay. He had time, no pressure, thrown up, just he wasn't near his receiver. That was intended for number 2, Dot Boss. You can see Guwap on the sideline, taking a big breath after a big play, keeping the lead with 6:56 left to go in the second.
That is just a brutal throw. You think of what the two quarterbacks are dealing with. The Savage have had all the time in the world to throw the ball. RF1 could have baked a cake in the backfield. He had the dot boss, of course, wide open, underthrew him by at least 10 yards. Just the easiest interception of Gulop's life. And at the 50-yard line, the Renegades, against all the odds, once again are in business. We have Craig Pitts saying on the Twitch chat, this was unexpected for real. I could not agree more.
And it will be 1st and 10 for the Renegades. They are leading 14-6 in our first of 4 games this afternoon. Matt Ryan and James Corrigan here with you, as it will be Xavion Ray Law under center. And it looks like we may have a whistle here. Potential jumping the line. Too many.
We're going to get a discussion here. I don't believe we have a timeout. I believe it's...
Savage called the timeout. That's their second timeout. They only have 1 left, down 8. And this might be the reason why, James, why this Renegades team has been able to take advantage. They may be rattled, they may be on the game, they see them a little shuttered, a little scuttled, and a little disorganized today.
But you cannot say that the Renegades have been sharp today. Not good blocking up front. Some poor throws, quite frankly, that have somehow fallen into Renegade hands.
But any given Sunday, any opportunity, big plays have been the deciding factor in this game. Big interceptions, big throw-off touchdowns, and some really strong running, and that pick-and-roll pass for the first touchdown. As Ray Law will be under center. The big man up front looking to add some protection, nearly brought down, and it brought down, swatted down by the Savage, Kenny Priolo. Bringing that one down, and it will be 2nd down.
Kenny Priolo just coming over and breaking that play up. That was another instance where the Savage, you could see the push from Isaac just right through the center, able to get into that backfield on the heels of the offensive line of the Renegades, still able to put together, though, a pretty decent pass.
Yeah, he had Isaac right up in his face.
In his grill.
Gonna have to worry about that DT. 3 up front for both sides. You see 3 wide receivers set to the left. May want to watch the run off that right side by Xavion Ray Law. And they'll fake the screen. He'll roll off to his right like Nostradamus. I got that one, and he's brought down hard. Big move there by Ron Clerk and Troy Smith. And you can see Ray Law.
We slow to get up. He has yet to get up.
He's going to need a bit of a breath, and he got
on
taken.
a knee, now on 2 knees, and now on all 4s. That is the opposite of what you want to see if you are a fan of the New Jersey Renegades. He got hit hard on that far sideline.
Brought down with what looked like to be a big tackle, wrapped and carried down.
Prime time in on that stop.
And he might need a little bit of air after that one.
Looks like he's just gonna
take a deep breath and roll along here.
Walk that one off. Of course, you know, injuries, of course, happen in football, but the A7FL prides itself on being the safest form of tackle football, full contact football. Of course, no helmets. The head is taken out of the game as a weapon.
And if you look at that tackle, James, both men going for wrap tackles, going just to bring him down, not leading with the head, not leading with the going with the arms, trying to bring him down. And it will be 3rd and 5. And we'll see number 33.
We're gonna get a new quarterback here, it looks like, because still on the sideline, Zay Ray is still laying down. Substitution in. It's going to be number 1, John Alfaro, a.k.a. J.P. Sput.
And Alfaro will try to shepherd this offense with 4:09 left to play after the timeout.
I can't imagine he would be
Well, Sri is saying that was a
quarterback.
Sri is calling that a clothesline. It looked like a clothesline.
Potentially a lethal lariat. Stan Hansen would have been proud, but instead looks like it's going to be the Green Mile having the ball to take this snap here on 2nd down and 20.
D'Andre Haynes, the Pope, known more for his big stops and big runs. Now looking to make a big throw. Rolls off to his left, immediately smothered and covered, but he will not be brought down. And it's a lateral over to 53. Ball's live, and the whistle will blow.
Well, I think 53 is an ineligible player, so
it was a lateral.
I think that
it wasn't a forward pass. It was a lateral.
But even so, I believe that well, at least in a traditional football setting, an ineligible player, an offensive lineman, cannot be the first to touch the ball, but it's a loss nonetheless. I was pitched back to Hawaiian Flavor playing center for the Renegades, but it's going to be 3rd down and 23.
That defensive line, without Haynes on that line, without that big number 44 blocking the right side, that's a lot of trouble. Haynes, he needs to clone himself to get the best protection on the offensive line because it collapsed like a cheap card table. Be a part of the conversation. Join us all afternoon long on the Twitch chat and for our first 2 games of the afternoon as we near halftime with 2:55 left to play in our Facebook chat.
And the Twitch chat already on fire. Town Beef 2 saying that if the Savage keeps messing around, they're going to find themselves with an L.
And a fellow A7FL player who we'll see a little bit later today, Big Mo Ramadan from the Paterson U. We'll get to his comments in just a second. Rolling out right, new quarterback in. Brought down! Maxwell Silver Hammer coming down on the head of Willie Beeman. And it will be 4th down. And let's go to Big Mo Ramadan's comments. He said about number 53, Hawaiian Flavor, Angelo Castillo, that he's got no football IQ. And he does agree that was a live ball and a lateral. And we'll see here on the tackle, just smothered, covered, giving him a big old bear hug, bringing him down from the shoulders. And it will be 4th and 19 for the Renegades.
There is a flag down on the field right now. Not sure exactly what that is. They're going to be marked back.
What I'm hearing is could be a potential no mouthpiece.
That's you're going to talk about no football IQ. That's going to bring this punt at 4th.
It'll be bringing it
and
to,
my goodness, 4th and 35 right now.
And we see number 11, Kenny Prialu. He'll be taking it from John Alfaro, who throws this one like a rocket. And Prialu with the ball, cuts one defender, cuts another. We might be seeing him run this one back. Slips, slides down the sideline, touchdown. And the Savage not able to find it on offense, but on the throw-off, their 2nd touchdown in as many throw-off attempts on 4th down. Punt returns.
2 punt returns for the touchdown. The Savage not able to get anything going on offense, but we see on these punt returns 2 different players slip and sliding, the old blip blap as LJ would say, and a perfect shot just down the sideline.
John Alfaro trying to make the stop and then just immediately going for the dive. The first player there was the guy who threw the ball off and was unable to make the tackle. The other 2 players were just standing around like window dressing at that point because he was just running straight away to make this a 2-point game with 2:11 left to go. Each team with 1 timeout and that 2-minute warning. So the Renegades may try to slow this one down here. They got the ball in the first quarter. The Savage are going to get it at the half. And this is going to be a very tough task right now for the Renegades to come back from this one, even though they have the lead.
Very interesting here, by the way. They're going to go for 1 despite being down 2.
They may be trying to go for the sure thing. They might be fine with being down just one, especially if they can get another throw off here. Thrown in, up, over, and that will be Marcus Bishop with the catch. Correction, pardon me, that is Waldy Mendez. I was looking at the wrong sheet. Waldy Mendez with the catch, making it a 1-point game, 14-13. Renegades in the lead.
Couple here on the Twitch chat, Craig Pitts looked like he has called this Savage comeback, saying that the Savage were tripping, but they will turn up soon, and he's right to some degree, but it still has to be somewhat concerning that the Savage have not been able to find anything on their offensive possessions. Now, granted, they haven't had too many offensive possessions, considering that they've now returned 2 punts for a touchdown and threw an interception as well. And just to answer a question, Core AF, this is in the Garden State, New Jersey, here at St. John Vianney High School in Holmdel.
The Trav Boo checking in on the Twitch chat. Savage just need to run the ball in offense. Renegades haven't shown that they can stop the Savage run offense. Well, the Renegades are going to try to replicate some of the Savage success, breaking off 1 tackle, and RF1 getting the credit for the tackle there, sending them out at the 25-yard line. And that looks like it was number 6, Q Bell. Correction, Abe bringing that in for the Renegades. A windy day here in Holmdel, New Jersey. Matt Ryan, James Corrigan. Beautiful weather, though. Just a slight breeze that might be carrying the ball just a bit as we head to first down, and that will be the 2-minute warning. And it'll be first down at the end of this 2-minute warning in our first of 4 games here today. Walking into today, ladies and gentlemen, if you were just looking at the stats on paper, if you were just looking at these 2 teams independently of themselves, you would wonder how the Renegades are in the lead by 1. Coming into today's game, James, the Renegades have given up 113 points on the season in comparison to the Savage, who have given up only 43, scoring 69 on the season for a plus 26 points differential, while the Renegades are at minus 71 on the year.
And think about this. The Savage, RF1, has had oodles of time every time he's dropped back to throw the football. But even with that amount of protection, they've still not been able to find anything on the offensive side of the ball.
And let's get a first and 10. Play action, a little light play action. Rolling out to his right in a world of trouble. That one was thrown and towards an ineligible receiver.
Throwing it to Ron Mills, who, again, is an offensive lineman. The Savage are laughing about something on the field, but once again, it's been a story. It's been one of the main stories of this game, the pressure that the Savage has been putting on the quarterback.
And Isaac on the replay here, you just saw coming straight down Broadway. If we can see that again, just coming straight down Broadway on that play. The center for the Renegades has been just completely wide open today, not being able to stop number 52, Joseph Negron, Isaac.
And by the way, it's great to see Zay Ray back on the field. He was hurt on the last possession of the Renegades, as I believe it is a penalty on the Renegades. It's intentional grounding, which makes sense considering he legitimately threw it to an offensive lineman, an ineligible player.
And Ron Mills will be under center.
We're going to get a change in QB. It's going to be Rose at QB for this one.
Mike Rose Hendricks, 2nd and 15. Launches this one, bobbled off the hands. Intended for number 18.
Zay Ray, the quarterback, was the intended receiver on that particular pass. Interesting, a change of quarterback at this point in the game when they're winning the game. I'm not sure exactly, just how.
We have a minute 43 left to go. And it'll be Rose Hendricks under center.
It's interesting because, I'm just not sure how mobile Rose is. And with the pressure that the Savage have been putting on throughout this entire game, as once again the quarterback for the previous portion of the game, Zay Ray, lined up as a receiver.
In time, rolls out to his right, Isaac chasing him down, and that one will be thrown incomplete, intended for number 6, Abe.
And there's a flag down, and it's going to be a hold on the offense, so back them up 10 more yards.
And this is the Renegades team that a lot of people expected to see here today. Just a lot of scattershot play here. Playing with house money here, up by 1, 95 seconds left to go. They have the timeout, and right now it's 4th and 25.
Well, it's 3rd down and 25.
Correct.
The down resets, and oh no, it is going to be 4th down. I believe here in the A7FL that rule does not apply. The down still counts on a penalty such as a hold.
It'll be 4th down. It'll be a 3-on-1 here.
They have to throw this out of bounds. They cannot keep giving the Savage a free punt return.
Much like the punts in the NFL or in other major sports, you can throw the ball out of bounds. And this is the thing they have to do, but they throw it right down the field, and that one will go out of play.
They do just that. They throw it right out of bounds. I'm not sure how many other major sports have a punting situation aside from traditional.
I meant football.
I know. We're having a lot of
95 seconds left to go. Checking Facebook, Deontay Wells Taylor saying the Savage need to put CP3 in, but CP3, I believe, still down with an injury.
I'll see Mallory 7 saying in the Twitch chat that 18 doesn't want to get hit. Would you want to get hit?
I wouldn't want to get hit, no.
I wouldn't want to get
yet again,
hit either.
I'm not playing in the A7FL. I'm up here in the broadcast booth where it's nice and safe and temperate. It's temperate.
Got a nice breeze.
RF1 in shotgun. 1 wide receiver in the slot, 2 at the top of your screen. And there we, with time, RF1 throws a bit of a wobbler, but it's caught, and that's Ward once again showing off his legs, letting the tackler bring him down at the 31-yard line, and that was number 2 bringing him down for the tackle.
Incredible. He almost did a pose as he was being brought down.
He was trying to Heisman him off his leg. Let's take a look at the replay. RF1 with a bit of pressure from number 3. A little bit of a wobbly pass, but enough momentum when we go back to live action. RF1 going on his legs, the old gunslinger. Making it work with 1:02 left to play, and he'll go out of bounds. Under 2 minutes, as soon as the ball, if there's an incomplete pass or the run is out of bounds, he will go, the clock will stop.
And they're going to give him the first down. It was right on that marker on the Renegades 21-yard line.
They'll mark it at the 21.
So it will be first down and 10 from there. Clock stopped for now. The Savage take their first lead of this game.
RF1, 2 wide receivers, 3 on the line. The screen pass. Great movement, trying to rock through, and that one will go out of play. Pass to Q Bell.
Q Bell, known as Mr. Possession as well, and we see why, just making the safe catch, picking up a few yards, and most importantly, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. And he does pick up the first down, so it is 1st and goal from the 9.
1 minute and 1 second left to go, and the Savage down as much as 8 during the course of this game. Now only 1 point behind. The handoff to Mayweather. Finds a seam, pushes through, and the Savage take their first lead of the game off the legs of Willie Money Mayweather.
Oh, that's just easy money for Willie Mayweather. No pressure whatsoever. They could honestly have moved this ball very efficiently if they were to run it more often, but of course in a 2-minute drill, had to make the big plays, and they have the Savage taking their first lead of this game, 19-14.
Great blocking on that play to keep the big man, number 44, Haynes, away.
Gonna go for 1 again.
RF1 calling the play in the huddle. Great camera angles here today, showing you every face, showing you the personalities here in the A7FL, these blue-collar warriors. The snap with time, throws it across, picked up, and that will be 1 point, picked up by the Savage, and that was Shedrick Goodridge, a.k.a. CT, with the pickup.
Well, CT just found himself wide open. It was very interesting to see, by the way, if you were keeping a close eye on this game, CP3, the original quarterback for the Savage, made his first appearance of the game in the backfield during that 2-point conversion. That's not, I don't believe that was something that we were expecting here today. He has been hurt, but
maybe trying to utilize him in special team situations, try to get him acclimated with back to playing.
Well, this throw-off right here is going to determine just what the Renegades are going to be able to do in the latter part of this first half.
And it will be Emmanuel Mack M. Blizzy taking it for the Renegades. And that one will bounce inside the 20, picked up, live ball, no.
I might have been short.
Number 18, Kyle Ward, picked that up for the Savage.
It's going to be marked where it fell. There is no onside kick here in the A7FL. It has to be touched before. It has to be touched.
Well, we see RF1 back on the field. We'll take a look again on the replay. It bounces right on the 19-yard line.
I think it traveled the correct distance, but it does have to be touched in here in the A7FL before it can be recovered.
And it looks like they're gonna give the Savage the ball.
They do give the Savage the ball. My goodness.
And Ryan and the A7FL commissioner joining us up here in the booth, calling that, saying that's the right call, getting it over to number 18, Kyle Ward.
Unbelievable.
45 seconds left to go.
A turn of events right back in the red zone, the Savage, so you are able to recover a kickoff situation.
It's a live ball. It's
you just can't advance it. That's what threw us off.
Touchdown. Got to make sure if that was a touchdown or not. They'll call it a touchdown, and the Savage have turned this one around, heading into the second half, now leading by 8, 14-26.
Q Bell keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's take a look again on the replay. RF1 stepping up into the pocket, throwing a bit of a wobbler. Caught 1-2.
And he did.
He had both feet down, dragging the toe. And right now, the Renegades find themselves in a predicament where they've given up 2 straight touchdowns. C. Mallory saying they wrecked RGT_AceTV, saying that's a toe tapper in motion. RF1 with time, rolls out to his right, wide open, caught, and that's 2 more points for the Savage.
There is a flag down, but it's offside on the Renegades. So it's just going to be the one.
And that was 1 point, and it will be 27-14.
It's 28. It is 27-14. Ryan DePaul correcting the scoreboard here.
24 seconds left to go, and RF1 will be throwing it off now for the Savage.
And I think that's the break. That kickoff may have been the break that the Savage needed to break this game open. Just a lucky bounce on a kickoff play. Leads to
it's a live ball.
Leads to 7 points. Incredible.
Inside the 25, it is a live ball, and it can be picked up, and RF1 will be throwing this one off. RF1 will line up. And this one will be launched. Picked up. JT Sput looking to make a move here. Brought there. No, he's still moving. Big man still rumbling and brought down hard by RF1. Playing 2 ways on that one.
Sandwiching JT Sput on the ground, just piling him in.
And Alfaro
we're
trying
gonna-
to find a lane, cut to that inside sideline, and look at RF1 stride for stride with him, trying to not go for the head, and Kyle Ward trying to stop him on the tackle. But Alfaro just being a little slippery, moving on through, almost got horse-collared there by number 15.
And RF1 just taking down a man who must be half his size, returning that one. And only 24 seconds for the Renegades to work with.
And it will be on the faking of the screen. Isaac bringing him down. This one launched, caught by number 6. Miracle play with 15 seconds left to go. Can he get it? Brought down. No touchdown. Inside the 5.
He's short. He's short. He's definitely short. I don't think there's even been a signal.
No touchdown. No touchdown, but what a play.
Stopped at the 1.
Let's go back to the replay. 2 defenders coming through under pressure again. Caught, bobbled, and brought down. And look at this, stride for stride. And this one will be inside the 5 with 9 seconds left to go.
They're at the 1-yard line with 9 seconds left. Looked like it's going to be closer to the 2-yard line.
Folks, another play where you're going to want to hit that clip button on Twitch. My goodness, 27-14, 9 seconds left to go. It's 1st and goal for the Renegades. After giving up 2 straight touchdowns, they're knocking on the door heading into halftime.
Well, I believe they must have called timeout. They did. The Renegades did call timeout. Well, it was called out of bounds, which is not a good call, but that's besides the point. So another lucky break for the Renegades.
And direct handoff, and they'll be smushed. And a little bit of a loss there.
They're going to call timeout here. They are signaling timeout.
It'll be 2 seconds left to go. And they'll call that timeout.
Well,
It'll be Xavion Raylaw under center.
Well, we're not going to get a snap here right now, so we're getting confirmation right now. The Savage did call timeout. The Renegades, rather, they did call timeout after the last play. They were not out of bounds as we expected on that big play down the field, so they did call timeout. And if they did, so they're out of timeouts. That's going to be the end of the first half.
And it will be halftime.
But I think that everybody's still on the field. There is mass confusion here. I think that the referees needed to relay to the Savage. I don't think they realized that they got the timeout off. So they had no timeouts. If they had known that they had no timeouts, I don't think they would have ran that play, quite frankly. But this half is over. 27-14 is the score in favor of the New Jersey Savage. And the Renegades have basically been operating with smoke and mirrors. So many plays, as I believe we're going to be joined by our Commissioner Ryan DePaul here at halftime. Ryan, how on earth have the Renegades been able to stay in this game with quite frankly an offense filled with popping the ball up and praying that they catch it?
You know, I wouldn't expect a veteran team like Savage to fall asleep on anybody, especially after just coming off of a big loss in Baltimore. So I'm just as shocked as everybody else by what's going on here. They're playing them, tooth and nail. They're a gritty team, the Renegades. They came out here, probably don't really know too much about Savage. They're a new team. They probably honestly didn't care about who they were, and they're out here balling.
And by the way, Johnny Boy 456 saying this ain't live. We certainly are live here on Twitch. Maybe a little bit of a delay if you are actually here at St. John Vianney High School. But I feel like this score of 27-14 is not indicative of the run of play on both sides. The Renegades really, you can make the case that the Renegades should be even closer in this game, considering the lucky break that the Savage had on the kickoff, and the last play there where they were stopped at the 1-yard line and didn't realize they had no timeouts at the end. But at the same time, a team like the Savage, they've seemed to be a bit more crisp than the Renegades. They've had all the time in the world to throw the ball that they've just made dumb mistakes.
And looking to this conversation, continue the conversation on social media. We've got a poll going on right now, Facebook and Twitch. Who's going to win this game? We've got some people saying the Savage are going to win by 5 touchdowns, and some people reacting to that play just before halftime, that big pass play that got him to the 1-yard line. Clavon J.J. Radcliffe, that was on the 1-inch yard line, and given that face and hand emoji.
The 1-inch yard line.
Kenneth Tippett saying, I told you Breezy can't tackle.
Oof.
And Tim Adams, what this entire half has been 3 letters. Wow. Just every single possession, there's a wow moment, a gotcha moment from either side. Whether it's been great defensive play by that Savage front 3 or just those big major plays, it has been a hectic first half.
Well, it's certainly been an eventful first half. We quite frankly, we did not expect to see much of a game here. We expected this to be more of a showcase for the Savage against a team in the Renegades that have not been victorious this season in their inaugural season here in the A7FL, but it's been anything but. It's been lively, it's been eventful, it's been, everything we're used to seeing here in the A7FL, but just not from the expected participants.
And we see the Renegades on the sideline going over strategy, heading over into the second half. Matt Ryan, James Corrigan calling all the action for you all day long here from Homedale, New Jersey. And I'm going to ask you right now, what's your prediction for the second half?
Well, you'd have to think that the Savage are going to be able to tighten up some of their loose ends, to maybe not make so many of their mistakes, to sort of, I almost think they need to slow the game down a little bit, rely on that running game. The Renegades haven't shown that they're able to stop the run. They haven't shown that they're able to tackle particularly well. So I just think that if the Savage can just play a simple game, not take too many chances, they should be able to run away with this.
And a shout out to Brian M. Lassiter Sr., a first-time viewer of the A7FL. He likes the league, just found us on Facebook. So glad to have you, sir. It's 14-27. The Savage are in the lead.
Well, there's so much to love here about the A7FL. Just a completely different style of play. The safe nature of the game without losing what makes football such a great sport, such a physical sport. And, of course, a prime example going to come right here on the throw-off, the most exciting play in sports, oodles of space.
And we've seen 2 throw-off touchdowns so far today.
Just a straight-up 3-on-1, but it is no handicap match.
Especially if you are number 18, Kyle Ward, and we're getting ready to start things off right now with the 3-on-1. And the big man, number 44, Dondre Haynes, will throw this one off. And this one will bounce out of play.
So that's going to be a penalty. And that is going to be a big play here for the NJ Savage, as they will find excellent field position. And it's going to be what is known here in the A7FL as a run back. So what's going to happen here is the Magic Man, who is returning right now for the NJ Savage, will have the running start from the 25-yard line. And his 3 opponents of the Renegades cannot move from behind the 35. So no running start here for the Renegades. A head start here for the Magic Man.
Cuts through Haynes. That's the biggest problem. Cuts through another one. Sheesh. Just hitting him with the blip blap. 10-5. And the Savage strike first. Strike hard. And this one is a monster play. Once again, the Renegades falling by the wayside, letting the rules dictate their pace of play, giving up a big touchdown. The Magic Man getting the big man to miss, getting 2 tacklers to miss, and just keeping up on that inside sideline, not allowing Abe to get anywhere near him. And that's 6 on the big board for the Savage.
That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. 3 touchdowns for the New Jersey Savage. I had a feeling that once we got the run back that it was going to be easy money for the Magic Man, and it certainly was. And you can't, and it's incredible because the Savage, as you see, up 33-14, surely in control of this game, but it's been the special teams that have done in the New Jersey Renegades. We don't always see that here in the A7FL. There are no kickoffs in the A7FL, so not always do the special teams play this big of a role in the outcome of a game.
The snap, the throw to Ward off the screen, and he'll just stroll on in.
That's the easiest 1 point of K-Dub's life, but the 3 throw-off touchdowns plus the recovered kickoff at the very end of that first half have directly led to 4 of the 5 New Jersey Savage touchdowns. And the Renegades, while they should be feeling good about the way they've played defense in this game, the way they've tried to control the game with screen passes on offense to alleviate the pressure that the Savage have been putting on their quarterbacks, they find themselves down by 20 points.
They've left a lot on the table offensively and defensively. This should be a 2-touchdown game. Got to the 1-yard line, had Andy Reid level time management. And I like Andy Reid.
Well, it was a confusing situation because I'm not sure if they knew that they got the timeout called.
And here we go, a 3-on-1 for the Renegades, and that will be John Alfaro picking it up inside his own 5-yard line. He's going to be smothered, covered, and brought down around the 10. And right now the Renegades are staring down a 20-point deficit. They were up as much as 8 halfway through the second quarter, but the Savage, living up to their name and Savage level of play on both sides of the ball, even with RF1 giving up a couple of interceptions, a lot of people on the Twitch and Facebook chat calling for a CP3 to come back. Right now, steering this ship with a 20-point lead, and this defense that has been putting the pressure on anybody behind center for the Renegades today is in a lot of trouble.
Real quick, we have a question on Twitch. Derek H89, one of the other games on Twitch today. Well, I'm glad that you asked. Coming up next will be the New Jersey Hawks against the Baltimore Army. And then later on today, we've got the Paterson U and the Baltimore Bulldogs. And then our last game of the day, the New Jersey BIC and the Baltimore Vikings.
Under center, set up at the 5-yard line. And you can see that pressure off the edge on the left side of your screen. The handoff, right side, immediately picked up by Isaac, and a little moderate gain there by Guwap.
Well, it's going to be hard to run the ball when you're not blocking well. I think that's been one of the main themes in this game.
This front 3 has been continuing to find a way to just put immense amount of pressure on their opponents. And when you're looking at this Savage defense that has allowed some of the, probably most likely the least amount of points in the A7FL, allowing only, walking into today, 26 points, adding 14 more to that on the big board today, but have set a standard for defensive pressure that we're going to have to see a lot more of in the third and fourth quarter to kind of keep this Renegades team right where they are. After just big miracle plays have kept the Renegades in this, but the Savage are persistent and have found ways, especially on special teams and defense, to play keep away against the Renegades. Shotgun set, 3 lined up on either side, screen pass, and that one, we'll see a bit of a hip check.
Oh boy.
And Abe with the tackle. And it looks like
we have a man
player
down
of the
here.
Savage.
Oh.
He'll be getting up. He might have got caught a little bit in the rib on that tackle. And that was Isaac on the stop, and he'll take a bit of a breather. It's 3rd down, 12:58 left to go. Let's take a look again on the replay. quick screen right over, and you'll see Isaac come in, and he gets a headbutt right to the midsection. And Abe just kind of rolling that one off, but that knocked the wind out of Isaac, and it'll be 2nd and 7. 3rd and 7 with 12:38 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And right now, if you are this Renegade offensive line, James, you have to be frustrated with the way you've been playing today. You have not given your quarterback enough time to process, enough time to find options. And I know this is a run-first offense. They're very much allowing Xavier Ray Law to dictate the game with his legs. But right now, you're down 20. You need those big plays that have kept you in it in the first half. And 4 up front now. Play action. No time at all. And he's throwing to an intended pass to number 13, Eddie Petiot.
Well, he was being borne down on by the dot boss again. He was knocked down by K-Wack.
Correction, that was not Petiot. Petiot was wearing number 4 today. But that was intended for number 13 for the Renegades.
They almost have to go for it here on 4th down. So
it's a duality here because you've given up 2 touchdowns off of the 3-on-1. You've given a litany of touchdowns, but just on the punting version of the 3-on-1, they've given up at least 2 touchdowns.
you could throw it out of bounds in a punting situation,
And that's
but
what they did the last time.
at some point they just need the points. They just need to go for it.
But then you allow this Savage offense on your own 15.
And I think that they're coming to them. I think that they're starting to come to their senses here. I'm not sure exactly what the Green Mile is saying. I think he's calling for the throw-off.
He's certainly not inviting the referee out to lunch.
So
I will say that.
So I think that the Renegades have come to their senses. They're going to throw it off from their own 15-yard line, and they just have to throw this out of bounds. You know, in soccer, there's a term called a live ball. There's sort of a live ball play. The Savage have only scored 1 live ball touchdown, not really involving a special teams error.
And that one will bounce out of play, not allowing Kyle Ward, or correction, number 15, to get that one. And it will be 10:52 left to play in the 3rd, 34-14. The Savage leading. This is the A7FL on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Matt Ryan joined by James Corrigan here. We're keeping the action going for you. 4 games today. We've got 3 more for you. Starting early today, breakfast in football, the way it was intended to be if you live on the West Coast.
Well, they're used to waking up at 10 in the morning watching football. Us not so much here in the Garden State.
And we've got fans from Seattle and Las Vegas joining us in the early morning hours. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves. And we have a new quarterback, CP3, back in there for the Savage. And there's a handoff to Mayweather running off the right side. Big play by Mayweather, almost getting fish hooked there.
Oh, he got hit in the face.
Trying to go for the shoulders. That was an intended tackle by number 2 of the Renegades. And we'll take a look again on the replay. Just a lot of space, finding his way upfield, getting past 1 tackler, and that one almost trying to take his face off there. A little bit of a Nick Cage situation. Take his face off. And that is your random 1990s movies reference per game. Brought to you by Tim Tam Tech.
Oh, boy. So I almost kind of prefer in this situation when you're up by 20 points and if you're having more success running the ball than you are throwing it, I almost prefer CP3 being the quarterback sort of to force that run offense.
And they'll do the same exact play. And Mayweather finding space, getting the tackler off him, swatting them off like flies, finds his way downfield, brought down around the 15-yard line, and that breaks it open for the Savage. 9:09
and there's
left
a
to
penalty.
play.
There's a penalty at the line of scrimmage.
Well, let's see what it could have been a holding
Players
call.
are walking back.
It more than likely is a holding call.
Going to be against the New Jersey Savage. So wipe that one away.
And let's take a look. when you look at the A7FL, when you look at this entire league, it's all about using the unique rule set to your advantage. That the 3-on-1 play with that live ball, if it's within the 25-yard line, we saw the Savage take advantage of that in the second quarter. There's a lot of open space. There's a lot of pace of play here to make the game faster, more entertaining, and also safe. No helmets, no pads, allowing these players, and also so you can see the players, so you can see how beautiful all of them are, James. Some beautiful people on the line, and it will be CP3 under center with the ice cream truck set up to his right. Ward set up in the slot, and Dot Boss at the bottom of your screen, one wide receiver at the top. And they'll send number 19, Rek Ratty, into motion. And he'll be moving, pardon me, that's not ice cream truck. That's Rek Ratty hitting the B button, bringing it downfield. First down, Savage.
My goodness, Rek Ratty has his sideline going crazy.
And shout out to the Bay Area. Clarence Richt watching the game. And let's take a look again on the replay. That short little toss to Rek Ratty. Getting past JP Sput. Wrong place, wrong time for him. Pushing off. The Pope trying to go for a tackle, but up and under. Rek Ratty slipping through. Finding a way to keep that ball in his hands. Hits the B button. Sending 4 defenders going a little bit side-eyed. And it'll be first down. Rek Ratty set up to the right of CP3. We've got 2 wide receivers, one in the slot, one at the top of your screen, and we'll have a whistle blow, and it looks like someone tried to jump the line. It'll be a reset. First attempt, and that is an A7FL only rule. The first false start or the first offsides creates an... Well, and he'll jump the line this time, a little bit of fun.
Ooh,
and
boy.
We'll reset this one again. And it will be first down. And now we'll move it up 5 yards after jumping the line. It's the first time's a reset. The second time, that's just your fault. That's just you being silly.
Well, as President Bush once said, "You fool me, you can't get fooled again."
Montreal Trap House Bowser on the Facebook chat shouting at that spin move, though, hitting the B button. CP3, play action, has time, launches this one downfield into the hip pocket of Ward, and Ward once again can't come away with it. Wide open space, had both defenders beat, and it will be second down. 2nd and 5 for the Savage.
Well, that's the difference between a guy like RF1 and a guy like CP3. RF1 can make those kind of throws, even though he has not done so today. We've seen it in these past 4 games that they've played. CP3 maybe not as adept in throwing the ball down the field.
Well, let's look at the replay here. Great play action. The ball's right there.
It is right there. It is right there.
Ward drops it in stride.
Right there. It was a good throw from CP3. Ward, it just a little bit can't make that adjustment a little bit to his right.
And a shout out to our camera team getting great angles on that play. And fantastic work all day. And shout out to Ryan, not only running the league, but running the control center for us here in A7FL TV HQ. And it will be 2nd and 5. And it will be CP3 with Rek Ratty set up to his right. Wide receiver in motion. That was Marcus Bishop. Thrown up in the air. Caught. Dot Boss. Touchdown. Savage. Adding to the lead. Dot Boss. Just getting past 2 defenders and piling on the points. At halftime, a fan was saying the Savage are going to win by 5 touchdowns, and it's starting to look like it. It's 40-14. Savage in the lead.
They well and truly broken this game open, Matt. The Dot Boss, of course, just completely uncovered on that near sideline. And that ball was a little bit underthrown, but it's better underthrown than it is overthrown. Able to just make that slide adjustment and basically walk into the corner of the end zone.
And we'll be seeing them go for 2 here.
And this looks like it's going to be the 4th victory of the season for the New Jersey Savage.
Savage scoring 43 points on the season here, nearly matching their total points on the season.
Wow.
If they get this, they're 1 point away from matching their total score heading into today's game. CP3 with with 2 running backs set up on either side. And we'll see number 19 move on up. CP3 throws this one. That one will be out of play and will be still 40-14. Be a part of the conversation on social media. That incomplete pass, folks, we want to know what you want to see from the A7FL. Who are your favorite players? Who do you think is today's player of the game? Let us know in the chat on Facebook and on Twitch. And you can follow us across social media by searching A7FL, A7FL TV on Facebook, and also the A7FL on Twitter and A7FL on Instagram. And it will be the Savage getting the ball on the throw off here, and it'll be brought down the field by number 6. That'll be Abe bringing it downfield. And we'll see number 18, Kyle Ward, drawn by Waldy Mendez. And number 46, number 29, Jamal Harmon throwing this one off, and
this
whistles will blow.
This throw-off's gonna be lone dead, and it looks like it's gonna be offsides in the Savage, which means that it's gonna be run back for the Renegades. So they get the head start, and presumably will get the good field position.
So they'll run it off from the 25-yard line. And that'll be Abe. And Abe will bring this one downfield. Gets to about the 40, near midfield now, trying to break one tackler. And, well, he tried. He did not succeed. Jamal Harmon just stopping him dead in his tracks.
That's just a man among boys. Jamal Harmon. Unbelievable. Barely even got to the 40-yard line, did Abe, despite the running start. When the New Jersey Savage had the exact same position, they got to beyond at the 50-yard line before they met an opponent. So that just shows you the superior athleticism, the speed, the team speed, and the strength that the New Jersey Savage have over the Renegades today.
It will be first down for the Renegades. And a new quarterback in as the Renegades try to pull a little magic out of the hat. 5:08 left to go. Handoff with time. Zips this one to Pettiot. Pettiot breaking through. Slips on through to the other side. Touchdown, Renegades. Elijah Alvarado stepping in. The play action pass. And Eddie Pettiot dropping in another touchdown for the Haitian sensation. 20-40, the Renegades fighting back.
One pass and one touchdown. Eli Alvarado, that's going to be a perfect quarterback rating.
Getting through 2 defenders, Pettiot just was in stride. Unable, were the Savage to stop that one. Just crossing the streams. Both defenders converging and then having to break off and try to stop that play. Big one here, James. And that one right there.
You wonder where that was the entire game. Alvarado comes in, fires a dart down the middle of the field, and that just came out of nowhere. The Renegades getting blown off the field here in the second half. Could be right back within three scores.
And going for 2 here. Alvarado, not a lot of time. Will try to get there on his legs. And the Savage defense not letting that one happen.
Well, that's the prime time player wearing the hashtag, making the stop. Alvarado, who does have a good arm, but just doesn't have the size that a lot of these players on the New Jersey Savage possess.
Clark with the stop. 20-40 your score. 4:53 left to go in the third quarter, and the Savage will get the ball in the throw-off, which has been a dangerous game. And as they used to say when I was a child, garbage day is a very dangerous day.
Oh.
This is a very dangerous day for the Renegades, even though that big play from Alvarado and Petio not able to make that stop on the 3-on-1s has been the key reason, in my opinion, that the Savage have this lead.
Well, yeah, they've scored 3 touchdowns, and they forced a turnover on one of their own. So this has easily been the best part of the game for the New Jersey Savage. Now, on a kickoff scenario, this ball cannot be thrown out of bounds. This one has to be returned, or it will be a runoff. And I think that's going to come up.
That ball will bounce. It's a live ball. Beeman will get it, and Alvarado with the tackle. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Savage.
Well, that just took a bad bounce because that came up well short. But it popped up right to the point of the 25-yard line where it looked like, which is the limit of where the ball can be thrown. The ball has to travel 40 yards in order to be considered legitimate, or else it would be a runoff. So just at the 25, Beeman just did not want to risk it, knowing that they already forced a turnover on the exact same scenario earlier in this game. So a missed opportunity there for the Savage to try and take another one back.
And it'll be 1st and 10. Number 99 behind center for the Savage. That's Martin Rivas. Pardon me, he's the center. CP3 under center.
So in a game that is probably lost, CP3 once again getting some action at the quarterback position.
And it's yielded some benefits. Play action to Rec Ratty. Rolls to his right. Zips that one off. Pass is complete. And we'll get a moderate gain there for the Savage. Reception made by number 10, the Magic Man, Malik Walker. And 4:10 left to go in this third quarter. And right now, if you're the Renegades and you have that momentum off of that last touchdown, you
need a stop.
You need not only a stop, you need an emphatic stop. You need a stop that will allow this team to know that you've put them on notice. They were able to get RF1 out of the game, but now they're dealing with a CP3 that is coming off of injury, that's coming off a little bit of uncertainty, no quarterback controversy per se, but a guy that may need to prove himself to not only his teammates, but to himself. And Ole set up to the right, and CP3 will go with it, and he gets tripped up by his own defender, Amir Morris. Chick had his hip jutted out, his inside hip, and CP3 is down.
And that did not look good. It looked as if DeAndre Haynes fell on CP3. CP3 is a small man. DeAndre Haynes is anything but. And he fell right on top of him at the end of the play, and CP3 remains down.
That's not a good thing, especially for the Savage team that just got one of their most viable offensive weapons back. And you just think of the person, you just think of CP3 and wanting to get back and trying to fight your way back onto the field, and you don't want this to be another setback. You don't want this to be a situation where you can't come back from this, as he's slow to get up and his teammates checking on him. RF won the first one there to him and helping his teammate off the field.
And he's up, but he's still...
And RF1 will...
Still not feeling it.
Coming up next, we've got the Baltimore Army in action in our 12 o'clock game. And let's take a look at this team that has been led all year long by a great and proficient running game, especially by that man right there leading it down the field. James, I'm excited for this one.
I certainly am. It's going to be a good one. A lot of people are saying that the New Jersey Hawks have a sort of a soft 3-1 record coming into this one, and the Baltimore Army Their opponents, on the other hand, a strong 1-2 record. Strength of schedules may be different, but we're about to find out on the gridiron.
And you can see this guy just stopping you not only on offense, but on the 3-on-1. And RF1 now back in. That's our next game coming up. As soon as this game ends, we'll be continuing with you on the air. Marathon session of the A7FL with you on this Sunday. 2 wide receivers, 3 men on the line, the tight end, RF1. Lobbing this one up. Caught in stride, but no again. Number 18, Kyle Ward, going for the yak and not going for the possession. Letting that ball fall right out of his hip pocket, and it will be second down.
You know, it's just a tough one because as much as we want to cut some slack, that's about the third or fourth time that's happened to K-Dub, dropping the ball. He has an excellent touchdown on the throw-off earlier in the game, but just not his day on the receiving end.
RF1 will be set up from the 35-yard line. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. The screen pass to Mayweather, but that will not yield them much, as it'll be a moderate gain of about 3. It'll be third down. Correction, a gain of about 5. 20 seconds left, 3rd and 7. They'll give him 3 yards. And it'll be actually, I believe it's closer to 3rd and 5. And they'll let the clock run out here as we head into the 4th and final frame. It has been special teams and game-breaking plays that have defined this, and that's what you want out of the A7FL. You want those big plays, you want those big moments, you want those clips that you can go up and put up on Twitch, and that is a big thing with us this season. If you've got a play that makes you say sheesh or something that gives you the old blip-blap on that running play, you're going to want to clip it and send it to us. Share it across social media. Use the hashtag A7FL. We've got a double-decker Sunday coming for you around 2 p.m., and we'll keep things rolling right now in our 4th quarter. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Ain't no stop for the A7FL. Look at Mamba Stacks. We'll be seeing him a little bit later today. Just a guy that you cannot stop. Looking and going into beast mode every time he's on the field. Can catch, can run, a guy you do not want to miss, and he'll be in action a little bit later today. Him and Mike Liberty. Liberty is a dominant running back. Young player. Ryan likes to call him Rocky. I like to call him damn near unstoppable, and we'll see Mike Liberty here a little bit later today. RF1 under center as we get started here. 2nd and 5 in our 4th quarter. Mayweather in motion, direct handoff. Left side, top of your screen. Mayweather breaks the tackle, breaks another. Going with the juke. Sheesh. Brought down by number 53. Angelo Castillo, a little Hawaiian flavor. Bringing him down. First down, Savage. Take a look here again on the replay. Breaking that tackle, breaking Pettiot off. And a big move there. Cutting number 54. Ra Mills off at the legs.
Ra Mills needs a new knee after that one. Forget the ankles. That's the full leg
they shouldn't call him Willie
Mayweather just broke.
Call him the surgeon because he just orthoscopicked Ra Mills. RF1 to throw downfield right down Main Street. And they may call that a catch for Amir Morris.
We'll call it a catch right at the first down marker. Going to be close.
The 35-yard line we'll take again here on the replay. RF1, just a lot of time there, but you see Haynes coming off the edge, 2 defenders dropping in, and it looks like he has possession the entire time, scoops it up and under, and it'll be first down. Savage. And RF1 back in. You've got 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. No running back. No, running back set up to the left. RF1's big body got in the way. Launches this one downfield. Caught in coverage. What a play. Touchdown. Smith. Troy Smith, Mr. Incredible, living up to the nickname. Right place, right time. 46-20. The Savage roll on.
That's sort of how the Renegades came out to their lead, throwing those jump balls into double coverage, hoping that one of their players can go up and make the play. Mr. Incredible at the very top of the jump.
And we run this one back with Haynes in his face. Calm, poise, looking like John Wayne. Just hopping up over Petiot and the other defender. Cutting to his left. Finding daylight. Touchdown. What a play. Getting past Xavion Raylaw and Petiot. Two guys who have defined skill and athleticism for the Renegades today. And Mr. Incredible living up to the nickname as RF1 with that line in front of him. Will go for the conversion. And they will only go for one. They are set up on the 5-yard line. Not a lot of time. Rolls to his right. Bobbled and dropped down. Big play by 44.
Just want to go back to that touchdown. Mr. Incredible made a great adjustment on that play. While the two defenders ran past, it was Mr. Incredible that saw that the ball may have been a little bit underthrown and went to the ball. Right
High
here,
out of frame, a pop fly.
you can see running right past are the two defenders, while Mr. Incredible able to come toward the ball.
Troy Smith with the touchdown. And we've got 3 more games for you this afternoon. Matt Ryan, James Corrigan calling the action for you all afternoon long. LJ Smith, unable to join us this week. And the whistle will blow. And we're going to get a runoff here. And it'll be brought downfield by number 25, M. Blizzy. And he'll set up at the 25-yard line. You see our sideline cam bringing you all that action. And here we go from Blizzy. Sets up to the left. Trying to get past the defenders. He does! And he's got nothing but the field in front of him! Slipped them through! Using the right stick. Sheesh! Touchdown, Renegades!
I mean, that's just not great tackling. The Savage just trying to opt to get the big hit and push him out of bounds instead of trying to wrap up and tackle.
Emmanuel Mack getting this game back to 20, a 3-score game, which isn't much of an improvement. But the morale of this Renegades team, keep finding ways to get up on the scoreboard and making this 20-46 with a lot of time left. There's practically the whole 4th quarter left to go, 26-46. And we got the Hawks getting ready for their game coming up just after the 12 o'clock hour. We're 12:15 right now. As soon as this game between the Savage and the Renegades are done, it's going to be the Hawks in action right here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, joining you all afternoon long on Twitch with 2 games for you right here on Facebook Watch. And they'll go for 2 here, set up on the 10-yard line. That'll be Alvarado. Set up at quarterback. The snap with time puts this one up and out of play, intended for Abe, and it will be a throw-off for the Savage.
So this is going to be a preview of what you're going to see directly after this game. We have here the New Jersey Hawks are going to be in action. A 3-1 team are they, and some exciting players that we're going to see right there. That was in their victory over this very same team. Lily's dad getting the big sack, and that big arm. Can't wait to see them take on the Baltimore Army. Who nasty. Big play wide receiver that they have, and a big-time defense as well. So the New Jersey Hawks going to be in action against the Baltimore Army.
And take a look at that Army defense. That big man right there bringing down the tackle. And it's going to be 2 very dynamic and hard-hitting teams. The Army walking in today with a 1-2 record going up against a Hawks team that's 3-1. We're going to see which team can carry the water here today at St. John's Vianney. That ball will bounce. It's not a live ball. It's not inside the 25, so we're going to get a runoff.
The Renegades are saying that the Savage touched the ball, which would have made it a live ball, but the referee's saying otherwise.
I didn't see anybody from the Savage touch the ball. James, did you see anybody from
I didn't
there?
think so.
And the referee saying, confirming no one touched the ball, so we'll get a runoff from the 25. And bringing the ball downfield will be number 9, Olajuwon Bell, a.k.a. Ole.
Ole is a big-time player for this team. We haven't called his name much today.
Once or twice he's been set up along with RF1 and CP3.
Renegades still trying to plead their case, but sent back to the 35-yard line by the officials, so the running start coming here for Ole.
And there's the whistle, and here comes Ole, bringing it downfield, past the 50, gets past one defender, but brought down by Alvarado and another tackler, that'd be number 25, M. Blizzy.
Well, that was a difference that I pointed out earlier on those runoffs, where the players meet their opponents at. The Renegades only got to about the 40 before they ran into an opponent. Right there, Ole getting across the 50-yard line before he even sees a Renegade player.
And it will be the Savage taking up residency at the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. RF1 will remain under center for the Savage. And right now, looking for an option. Handoff to Mayweather off the direct snap. RF1 looking fooled. Mayweather! Slip and slide and no Philly shell needed. It's a touchdown, and the Savage continue to live up to their namesake, putting another 6 on the board and another dagger in the heart of the Renegades. A very laissez-faire play, a very laissez-faire handoff.
Well, that's what happens when you're up by a lot of points. The Savage know at this point that they can run at will on the Renegades, and proving so here today. I mean, this is starting to become a track meet.
And we'll see again on the handoff, just running up the sideline, finding a way through a tackler, using a fallen defender as essentially a blocker to find a way to cut through and then find a way to run along the sideline. And they will go for one here with 11:03 left to play. The Renegades down 52-26. Whoever had that 5 touchdown prediction, it's getting eerily close.
Yes.
RF1 with Chick to his right, the toss. And that one will go out of play. No points on that one as we see the Hawks getting ready for their game in just about 11 minutes time. As we got 11:03 left on the clock, it's 52-26. And it has been a weird day for the Renegades, starting off hot and then watching everything fall around them. A broke-down palace for this Renegades team today as they look to get they were looking to get their first win, and now they'll still have a big old donut in the win column.
Well, they have to be somewhat happy about how they played, especially in the first half on the defensive side of the ball, forcing some key turnovers from the New Jersey Savage and making some big plays on offense of their own, using a lot of smoke and mirrors to do so. But they can play a little bit. It's just that they've come up against an opponent here in the Savage that just have all the talent in the world.
Jamal Harmon will throw it off to Alvarado. Alvarado met by a brick truck named Harmon, pulling off the old Arn Anderson. Big spine buster, stopping him just around midfield. They'll mark that one around the 45-yard line, looking like the 46.
Well, I haven't seen a brick truck just yet, but I may have just seen it now.
See it here coming through, gets past one defender, another one, And hey, how's it going? You're just gonna be here. We're just gonna put you. Oh, dropped him on his shoulder. And Alvarado using that springing hairstyle to spring him up off the ground, and they'll be set up around the 45. We wait for official placement from our officials as the Renegades are not happy on the sideline. James, you've got more of an eye line on it than I do.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It might be some infighting amongst the Renegades. I'm not sure.
Possibly an argument about possession. 10:35 left to go. Time will continue. The only time the clock will stop is at the 2-minute mark for incomplete passes and plays going out of bounds. Another unique asset of the A7FL to keep that pace of play moving. And every play and every second counts. No wasted motion, no wasted time. And right now the Renegades getting into a little bit of a problem on the bench. And there's a timeout called with 10:22. The Renegades called timeout. We were just informed of that here up in the booth. Or they were charged a timeout by the official. And it looks like they're trying to get a new ball. And the Renegades in the huddle. A beautiful day here in Homedale.
Certainly is. Beautiful day for some A7FL action. 3 more games coming after this one as we're in a bit of a delay here.
Alvarado in the shotgun. Alvarado will snap, throws it right side, off the hands of Petio. And that'll be second down off the incompletion. Time keeps on slipping, 9:45 left to play in the 4th and final quarter. Will be the Hawks and the Army coming up next. The BIC will be in action at 4 p.m. Big day of A7FL action for you.
Very excited to see the BIC later on today. Got to see them a few weeks ago as well.
Renegades, we're trying to play spoilers here today, James, trying to prevent the Hawks from, the Savage from raising in the playoff rankings. But the Savage have not only answered the call by the Renegades, but have scored more points today than they've had all season long.
I think they were tested a little bit more than they had thought they would be.
Off the edge, a lot of pressure, and Alvarado will go down as all 3 members of the defensive line will bring the young man right down.
Almost like a piñata, everybody getting their licks in.
The 21-year-old facing a lot of pressure after his first play. His first play under center was a touchdown, and we'll see here Alvarado with no place left to go. Slips one defender, but another one right there trying to put him in a bulldog choke. And that one will be a stoppage in play and a sack for the Savages. They continue to pile on here this afternoon in Homedale. It'll be second down at the 36-yard line. Alvarado set up in the shotgun, 1 wide receiver to his right, Petio in the slot. Play action. Moves to his left, throws a little bit of a wobbler. Petio will catch it. His defender was down. No flag I see on the field. It'll be first down for the Renegades.
Oh, that's just perfect accuracy. Throwing a sidearm almost across his body. Somehow able to catch Petio in stride above and somehow sneak it above the hands of the Savage defenders. A great throw. If only they could give him some time back in the pocket.
And that one just slipped right over the head of the defender, number 29, getting them the first down, and it will also get them in Savage territory as they're set up on the 46. And it will be first down for the Savage. Pardon me, the Renegades. Alvarado will snap. Here comes the pressure from the defense. Alvarado will run, get a first down and more, and he'll go inside the 25. Correction, inside the 30 and brought down near the 27. Great running there by the 21-year-old Alvarado.
I mean, it's necessary running. He had a man coming off the edge, able to just avoid the pressure, find the space down the near sideline. And that's just the kind of a survival play that the Savage have had to make here today. That the Renegades rather have had to make. It was tackled by Kenny Prelu.
And Abe will be the wide out at the bottom of your screen. Petio, and they'll swap. And he'll be at the top of your screen. Petio will be at the bottom. The snap. Not a lot of time. He slips one tackler, but another sack on Alvarado. Brought down. It'll be second down with 6 minutes left to play.
Well, K-Wack has been living in the backfield in this entire series. Should have about 3 sacks in the last 3 plays, but he gets the one there.
And it will be 2nd and 10. Ryan DePaul watching. When you're looking at these teams, Ryan, and you're looking at the pace of play, did you expect the Savage to start so slowly but then just continue to turn up the pressure during this game?
You know, funny story. I was at a wedding Saturday night, and RF1 happened to be there. But he wasn't drinking, so, you know, he was focused. He was finally, ready to get a nice day to play in after having to play in that swamp in Baltimore. I mean, it looks like they slept on the Renegades a little bit in the first half.
And then that wake-up call, getting those 2 touchdowns scored on them, had to really be the thing they needed to kick it into overdrive. The handoff, and that one will get stopped at the door.
I wouldn't take anything away from the Renegades here.
No, they've had some flashes of excellent football. Some excellent football here today, but just the mistakes, a little bit of the misunderstanding of the rules, especially on that throw-off that yielded the turnover. And you see the formation of a really strong unit on that team. Some really Alvarado showing himself on that first play and playing a lot in stride, a lot of pressure on this 21-year-old kid, facing up against guys that are nearly twice his size and twice his width, but playing with some poise here.
I don't know where they've been hiding this kid. It's the first time I've seen him this season. He's young. He's talented. He's obviously fearless going up against this Savage pass rush, which is a daunting pass rush.
And the intended pass to Petio. He gets it to him. He keeps the ball and brought down hard inside the 15-yard line at the 17.
I want our fans to clip that if you're watching on Twitch, because what a situation that Alvarado faced on that throw. It was almost like the throw-off, 3-on-1 in the backfield, just bearing down. But like you said, poise, the poise that he has to make a throw like that.
If you're playing against the New Jersey Savage and you're a quarterback, you need to study every great second baseman and shortstop, because all of your throws are going to be off the hop. You're going to have to throw either across your body or throw in motion. You're not going to have a lot of time in the pocket, so you might as well look at how Chuck Knobloch and Derek Jeter played in the 90s and learn just how to throw in a complete car crash surrounding you. It's like the entire turnpike just shows up at your front door, and Alvarado's been playing with some excellent rhythm. And Haynes handing it to the big man, extending arms and getting the Space Jam touchdown. The Toon Squad may not be winning this one, but the Renegades add another 6 to get a little bit closer, 52-32 with just about 3 minutes left to play.
Knocked down on the throw again, this time by Isaac.
Core AF on Twitch saying this kid is taking it upon himself, and Alvarado leading it in stride. Let's take a look again at the replay. Alvarado with a player in his face throws it to Haynes, who has a defender immediately on him, pushes him off, struggles to get across the goal line, and the big man landing right across the line, clear as day. That one's a touchdown.
So once again, the Renegades, who were shut out last week against the Misfits, putting up 32 points.
And it will be a 10-yard line play, a 2-point attempt. The flea flicker, the throw to the end zone, off the hands, out of play, into the kicking net. A little more loving than Odell Beckham Jr. was to that kicking net, but it will yield no points, and it will remain a 20-minute game with 3 minutes exactly left to play.
So obviously with no onside kicks here in the A7FL, this game all but over.
And a shout out to Big Mo Ramadan, giving some love to Alvarado. I like this kid Alvarado. Give him an O-line, and I think he can be good in this league. And Big Mo will know a lot about that. The man who scored the hashtag Fat Guy touchdown with a little bit of help of an offensive O-line and an impressive frame himself. We'll be seeing him in the Paterson U just a little bit later on today during our Double Decker Sunday exclusively on Twitch. We'll have one more game for you this afternoon on Facebook Live before we exclusively go over to Twitch. And there it is, the Fat Guy touchdown. Big number 99, Big Mo Ramadan, throwing it up for the U. Laughing all the way into the end zone, just the direct snap going off to the left and imposing his will upon all who see him. Off the throw off. Here come the Savage. Cuts through one defender. He's holding on to the pants, and that's the only reason he'll be brought down. Number 15. Bringing it across for the Savage, Jabril Beeman.
Gosh.
Getting it down inside inside the 35.
Rose hanging on for dear life. We almost wound up with the pants on the ground.
Pants on the ground, and it's a 20-point game. You can see this one being over, but a lot of strange things have happened today. A lot of strange scores, a lot of strange moments. You can see the Renegades possibly turning this one around. It's not likely. Would I bet my house on it? Well, first, I don't own a house, so no. But secondly, I would have faith in this Savage team to maintain the lead with 2:22
this game
left to play.
certainly is over, and for the simple reason, as we get the sweep handoff, it's over for the simple reason that there are no onside kick type situations here in the A7FL, so there was no way for the Renegades to get the ball back.
But if that ball if they get a score, that ball bounces into 25.
Oh,
we
that's
saw
a
it
one
today.
in a million.
We've seen a lot of one in a million plays today. Look at Alvarado. Look at Elijah Alvarado.
You see, here's the thing,
playing
though.
Here today. First pass of the season, or first pass of the game, throwing it right into the end zone for a touchdown. So a lot of strange things have happened today, my friend.
Well, Matt, here in the A7FL, the one in a million almost seems mundane compared to everything we see on a daily basis here, and it's only going to get better.
And the handoff to Mayweather, draining the clock and draining the field. Getting past the 50, being brought down near the 49. And it looks like he got a little hurt on that play. Looked like his hamstring might have gotten a little extra stretch as he's limping just a skosh.
Going to stay out on the field as this one winds down.
A minute 15 left to go, and we'll have our second game of the afternoon for you. Quicker than a hiccup, it's the Hawks and the Army. And let's take a look at this play again from Mayweather. You see him being brought down. His knee bends a little bit at an awkward angle. Brought down into a 90-degree. And that's your next game, ladies and gentlemen. The 1-3 Army taking on the 3-1 Hawks right here live from Homedale, New Jersey, the 5th week of the A7FL season. We're excited to bring this action to you. That'll be your game next right here on Facebook Live, Twitch, and on YouTube. And this one will be over.
Yep.
The clock will run down, and we will consider this one to be all in the books. The Savage will walk in after taking a big loss last week and rolling on with the momentum, keeping the Renegades over. Your final score this afternoon will be the New Jersey Savage 52 and the New Jersey Renegades 32.
Well, it started promising for the Renegades, led from much of that first half. But at the end of the day, there's troubles on special teams, whether it be giving up the throw-off touchdown or somehow turning it over on receiving the throw-off. That is really what felled them today. It would have been a much more competitive game had they stayed firm, but I don't think the outcome would have changed. The Savage just ran them all over the field in the second half, and they moved to 4-1.
And that'll be the first team of the year to get to 4 wins. Take a look at our standings. Correction, they'll be the third team behind the Immortals and the Cobras, who have remained perfect, the first team this week to get the 4 wins. They are joined, now they just move up to the 3 slot behind the Immortals and the Cobras, over doubling their points scored on the season. Today the Savage walked in with, 69 points scored on the season, and nearing that with 52. 43 points allowed so far this season, but now adding another 26 to that.
And that certainly will be a team to be reckoned
32.
with later on in the season as we get to the crunch time in the A7FL slate. But we're almost set to begin the action here for game number 2 of our quadruple header here at St. John Vianney High School in Holmdel, New Jersey. The New Jersey Hawks sitting at 3-1 will take on the Baltimore Army at 1-2. And Matt, when you talk about the schedules for these two teams, we have a lot of teams here in the A7FL.